one. You are listening to the Ash and Man of Tomorrow podcast. Man of Tomorrow, say hello.
Hey everyone.
Tonight's topics: the new Sailor Moon anime, as well as The Hobbit, which will be coming out in December. Also, we will be doing we'll have a special announcement later on for you guys, and our favorite reviewers on YouTube. So let's begin. I guess we'll start off with the new Sailor Moon anime that's coming out. Well, what have you heard about this, man? Tomorrow, a lot.
Not a lot. Just that it's going to be, I think, released next year, or either it's going to be released next year, or it's going to be started early next year. I'm not quite sure which is true. Just that it's set for 2013, but I think it's completely brand new.
Yeah. From what I've been hearing, it's going to be they're making a new series in celebration of the original Sailor Moon. So it's similar to how they did with Dragon Ball Z, where it was just in the celebration of the return of Dragon Ball Z. So that's nice. This one like I said, I think this one's going to follow the manga a lot more closely. So that's a good thing right there. Is it'll follow the manga, and in general, we'll have a newer animation as well. But looking forward to it whenever we get here in the U.S. Hopefully that means it'll be done by Funimation, and there won't be like the bullshit there is with the other when the original Sailor Moon was out and the dub was absolute crap. Which I'm sorry, people, I did not like the Sailor Moon dub. I'll say that again.
Oh yeah, especially the voice actress for Serena. What's it? Something? Well, name was, I think it was
It was
Cook. Something Cook.
no, it was Terry Hawks.
Terry Hawk.
She did the voice for Sailor Moon. She was, I'll give her enough credit to say she was actually decent. I could tolerate her. Then they replaced her and replaced half the cast with really bad voice acting. People who basically had no clue how to dub. It looked like they were reading from a script. This was after the what was it, Sailor? I believe it was after they replaced all the voice actors with it was after the future, when they were in the future. They returned to battle Wise Man from the future. I mean, that's when they redid the That's when after that they redubbed it for.
Yeah. The only one I've seen is the first season where it does the origin of the characters, of Serena coming across the other Sailor Senshis, and then the big fight on the enemy headquarters, Queen
Barrel.
Yeah, Queen Meryl, and the big secret that came out that she's actually a princess. No, not a princess, a queen in the future, and the other Sailor Senshis, they're, in a sense, they're princesses for each other kingdoms or planets.
Yeah. Basically, they're the They find out that Usagi is actually the Moon Princess, and so they all and after that, fuck, I'm drawing a blank on my fucking Sailor Moon shit right now. God damn it.
Okay, yeah, that, and I think a little bit of the second season where Tuxedo Mask was brainwashed and he was fighting on the enemy side, and a little bit of that too. But other than that, I'm not even familiar with the manga at all.
Well, the manga, I've been reading the manga. It's got the writing for the new one that came out is kind of sloppy. It's not the best. However, though, surprisingly enough, the story is good. The story is actually, I like the way the story was handled in the manga better than the anime. One of the things in the manga, in the second season, Sailor Moon and Tuxedo Mask don't break up. Actually, in the manga, they don't break up. In the second season, they do. They
Also, that's the interpretation of the second season of the anime, that when Tuxedo Mask was turned to the dark side, so to speak, brainwashed. That was interpreted as a breakup,
No, it wasn't that. It was he was turned in the first season. That still happened in the manga. He got turned to joining Queen Beryl. He was brainwashed to join them. It's actually darker in the manga than it is in the anime. In a lot of areas, it's much darker. But what all around happened was he. God, I'm drawing such a fucking blank right now. God damn it. Oh wow, I'm like. Okay, let me try to calm down for a second. Basically, he had to fight. He basically gets captured, joins the enemy. Usagi actually, there's a point where he dies, I believe. Yeah, in the manga he dies, and then Sailor Moon tries to kill herself, and yeah, that was about it. It was so then she tries to kill herself. Sorry, the wall just contacted me. Yeah, he tried to kill himself. Let's see what else. Oh wait, yeah, she tried to kill herself. He, the Neo Scouts retreat, come back. They use their powers to revive Usagi. She, however, wasn't killed. Actually, I believe she hit something. I forget. It was like a lock or something she hit. But she wakes up and and with the help of Tuxedo Mask, they defeat the queen. They defeat the dark. They defeat the dark energy of that dark energy there, which is interesting because the manga it's done differently. In the manga, Queen Beryl dies actually. Sailor Venus kills her. Sailor Venus kills her in the manga, and yeah, Sailor Venus kills her in the manga, and they fight what Sailor Moon is fighting is the darkness itself. I forget the name of it, but it was a darkness and it was unstoppable.
Oh, interesting.
And at the end, they all they defeat her. They defeat her, and then we go into season. Then we go into the next season, which the second part of the manga, which was the future when Rini comes down. No, wait, not wait. Chibiusa, sorry. Fucking, I'm getting them all mixed up right now. I'm getting the English version and the Japanese version mixed up. I especially hate since I hate the English version of Sailor Moon, but I'm getting the names mixed up right now. But
Oh, you're talking about the little pink-haired
yeah,
girl that comes to the present, and she turns out to be the daughter of Darien and Serena.
yeah. Well, apparently she's 900 years old. Actually, Chibiusa is actually 900 years old. She's not able to age. They explain this in manga of what's going on and stuff, but I'm not going to give too much away right now. But she comes down and basically points a gun at Usagi, which is freaking hilarious to see her point a gun. But I will say this though about one thing I liked about the manga more about Chibiusa or Sailor Mini Moon, as she's also called, is that she's not a complete brat like she is in the manga. In the manga, I mean in the anime, sorry. Anime, she's a brat. She's a brat. Manga, she's much nicer, much kinder. I really liked her in the manga.
Oh yeah, because I recall from the anime that a couple of episodes I saw that involved her was she got on Serena's nerves. I mean, she really hated Serena, but whenever it came to Darien, she was all putty and friendly toward Darien. She didn't want anything to do with Serena.
Yeah, that was another thing. That's one thing. That's kind of irritating too, the way that the anime handled that. The anime messed up on a lot of things. That was one thing I've noticed is the anime really did screw up on a lot of things. In the manga, Sailor Moon and Tuxedo Mask don't break up. There's not a breakup. And the people who actually get captured in the manga are Jupiter, Mars, and Mercury are the ones who get captured. And Sailor Moon, Sailor Venus, and Tuxedo Mask have to go back in time, have to go to the future with the help of Chibiusa to save them. So it's told. I like the way it's told better than the manga in general. It makes more sense, and the anime made a lot of fucking mistakes, and it's also due to the fact that that a lot of the episodes got really repetitive, really fast. That was one of my biggest points with Sailor Moon, the original anime, is that it gets to a rinse and repeat cycle a little bit, where a villain comes to try to take down. Villain comes, sends his little crony to fight Sailor Moon. They stop him. End of an episode. And this would go on for like 5 or 6 episodes before an interesting plot development would come. It's like, would you please just move on to the fucking story? I don't really care about these side villains. I want to see the main story here, but yeah, there was major issues there.
So what's the deal with the new series? Is it going to be completely redone, like in animation style, or is it going to be like
Dragon Ball
Kai, where it's the same animation, but it's cut to where it's in the manga style or closer to the manga?
Here's the thing, though. Dragon Ball Kai. The thing about Kai is they really didn't need to do that much to make Dragon Ball Kai more accurate to the manga, because I'm going to be honest, even though Z has its problem with its filler, it's still pretty damn... Dragon Ball Z is still... The anime is still pretty accurate to the manga. Yeah, it's just a bunch of fucking filler. It's still pretty accurate. Sailor Moon, on the other hand, from what I've read, they're going to have to redo the animation. They're going to have to redo everything for this version of Sailor Moon.
Oh, in order to make it absolutely accurate? So it's going to be a combination of both new animation and cut it together to be more accurate to the manga? Because the way how you describe it, it sounds like they're just going to have to scrap the old animation and just do it in brand new drawing.
Yeah, pretty much. That's what I will assume they will be doing, which is perfectly fine with me. I wouldn't mind if they did it that way, personally. I mean, I still love the animation for the original Sailor Moon, but I wouldn't mind if it got changed. If they changed it up a bit, made it look newer, fresher, that wouldn't bug me. I mean, hell, but if they decide to go the route like Dragon Ball Kai, I still won't be that bugged by it, because I know they'll clean up everything. That's the thing about Kai, though, is that about its animation, everything was cleaned up and it looked gorgeous. So I'm not too worried about that. As terms of episodes go for this will probably be around 120 episodes, I would assume, maybe even less, just because the manga is not near as long as the anime was, and they won't drag everything out like the anime love to do. So this one will be much shorter.
I'll have to check out the manga, assuming it's online.
Do you live by a Barnes & Noble or books?
Well, there's a Barnes & Noble outside of my town. Maybe 10 minutes tops, 15. No, I mean 10 minimum. It's a minimum of 10 miles to 15, depending on traffic. But I mean, I don't know if they have every single book of the Sailor Moon, because sometimes I go to stores in my town for manga, and they're missing a couple. It's not where it's 1 through whatever. It just depends on what's available. But I will definitely check out Barnes and Nobles.
Yeah,
But before that, I'll look at a few chapters online to see how it's done out before shelling out the money. Because the last manga I bought in the store was $10.
These mangas are a little on the pricey side. I'm not gonna lie. The new Sailor Moon manga is a little pricey. It's not as much as High School of the Dead mangas, which are $15 a manga. This is $13 though. This is still a little expensive.
I mean, because I even ordered the first volume of High School of the Dead online off Amazon, and it came down to $10, nearly $10, based on shipping and cost. But
well, if you want to get cheaper manga, try WriteStuff.com. That's one of the best places to go for anime and manga.
It's WriteStuffManga.com.
Yeah, I'll send you a link after this, and I'll send everyone here the link to Write Stuff as well. Why not? You all get the link to Write Stuff, so congratulations. You've all earned it. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, the manga is much. I prefer it over the anime. Definitely, the manga was done, I think, much better. I think the anime has its problems. Let's put it this way: if I was gonna do a top 20 Sailor Moon for anime wise, would be on the top 20. The Sailor Moon manga so far would be on the top 5 best mangas I've read. There's a huge difference there. So yeah, it's like that. But anyways, yeah, they're doing a new Sailor Moon, and I recommend everyone to check it out. And
what station it's going to be on? Is it going to be on Cartoon Network or WB? What?
I have no clue yet. I mean, this first first it's going to get made. It's going to get made in 2013. So by 2014, they'll probably want to get a company's going to make it here in the U.S. is going to make a bid for it. We got Funimation, which I think is going to be the one who ultimately will get it. But there's also Viz Media, which could wind up getting it, which I hope they don't, because Viz Media just Viz. I don't hate Viz, but at the same time they irritate me with a lot of their bullshit. We got Viz Media. Sentinel Filmworks would be an interesting one. If Sentinel Filmworks got Sailor Moon, I would definitely be curious to see how they dub that. If ADV Films ever decides to get back, if they somehow break out of the bankruptcy and become a full anime company again, then maybe they can get it, but I highly doubt that. ADV went belly up. I mean, maybe if they somehow magically came back to life, then I could see them. Potentially Bandai is another one. I mean, we could see Bandai try gunning for it but I don't know if they'll go for it. So if anyone's gonna get, though, I would say it'd be Funimation. And like I said before, if Sailor Moon does come, if they do bring it to the U.S. and Toonami is still around at this time, it probably will go on Toonami. It'll be known as Pretty Guardian Sailor Moon, though, is why I think they'll call it.
Yeah, I'm pretty confident that Funimation's going to get it, because whenever you hear about anime, it's always Funimation.
Yeah, I mean, them, like I said, the other Sentinel Filmworks, though, is one I'm definitely watching very closely, because they're actually very good at dubbing, surprisingly enough, and they really are an interesting company to see for later on down the road. But yeah, but it's just a wait and see right now to see where Sailor Moon's gonna go. I mean, to see how this is all gonna turn out. We've got a year before this is finished. I'll probably wind up watching it subbed first just to see how it is, and I'm praying to God it's closer to the manga, because the manga, for some reason the anime hated Tuxedo Mask. They did. The anime absolutely hated him, so I'll probably be watching this one sub, but yeah.
Okay.
But
guess we're going on to the next topic then?
yeah, sure. Actually, one more thing on this one I wanted to bring up. Uranus and Neptune aren't bitches in the manga. Well, they don't seem like they're complete and total bitches like they are in the anime. If you don't know what I'm talking about in this, go check out Anime America podcast. Robin, who did the Sailor Moon March Madness, she had a bitch count for Uranus and Neptune. A freaking bitch count. Manga.
Oh, yeah, you'll have to send me a link to that too.
I will. It's funny as hell. She has a fucking bitch count for them. And I'm like, manga, they're not that bad. But I've only read one manga of that so far, those two are in it. So I don't know how it's going to pan out the end. But so far, the manga, they're not complete bitches. They're actually very nice. Yeah, at times they can be assholes, but they're much nicer in the manga. And yes, thank you God, Uranus is a freaking woman. And no, Uranus and Neptune are not cousins. They're actually lesbians.
Well, that was some interesting news. I had no idea.
Well, no, okay. When I was reading the manga first, when I started reading with Uranus and Neptune, Uranus, she was looking like a guy, like really looking like a guy. Like you could not tell that was a girl at first. I'm like, well, what the hell? This looks like a guy. Is that Uranus? Shit, it is. Wait, I'm like, what is that? Then it's like, okay, no, she's still a girl. Okay, thank you God. Thank you God, she's still a girl. They didn't try any bullshit with me.
Are you talking about the one with the blonde short hair?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, she looked like that. And yes, her and Neptune are lesbians in the manga, which I was so happy that in this new manga they had that. They didn't try bullshit that saying, oh, well, they're cousins. Yeah, sure, they're cousins. Never mind that. Thank you, whoever censored that bullshit for the original Sailor Moon.
Huh. Who knew Sailor Moon had fan service?
Oh, the thing is, okay, I'll bring
Well,
this.
it's not.
Well,
It's not quite.
the thing is, the original. You have you watched the Japanese version of Sailor Moon?
No, I haven't.
Okay, the English version was, it was Deke who did it. They're like four kids. They are like the four kid. They were like four kids before four kids was four kids. They were heavy on censorship.
Oh yeah, that was the one where I think that was the company that actually watched the Sailor Moon because after an episode would end, it would do the company logo and the voice. I mean, if you closed your eyes and listened to the announcement at the company, I swear it sounds like Dick, like they're saying Dick.
Yeah.
And I would literally laugh my ass off because they're not saying Dick at all, but it sounds that way.
Yeah, Deke fucked up so bad on Sailor Moon. This is not an exaggeration. They fucked up on this. It was a horrible what they did. They even did the opening was I hated the way they handled the opening for Sailor Moon. That was poorly done. I also hated the whole at the end they would do this whole I think it's Sailor Moon Says. They do a Sailor Moon Says thing. You must do
Oh,
this. You must do. It's like, what the fuck? I don't want to hear this. Do a damn next episode preview.
oh yeah, I know you're talking about where they would chop together like a little abridged version of what the episode is. And this character did this, and you should do it because that is wrong.
Yeah,
So, yeah. And then
yeah,
I guess they censored the transformations, right?
yeah. They were definitely censored there. There was a lot of stuff that was censored. This was like this was almost as bad as One Piece. The Four Kids dub of One Piece. How bad that got censored. This I would say was right up there.
Hmm.
Like in the anime, Chibi Usa points a gun at Usagi. Points a gun right at her. They took that out in the Deke version. You know, that's kind of sad. This is a funny thing that bugs. I'm going off topic on this because, okay, I was watching a Chip and Dale's Rescue Rangers episode earlier today.
Mhm.
This is Disney. This is in the 90s. The crooks pull out guns and start shooting at Dale. They start shooting at him.
Mhm.
It's actual guns. They look like guns. They're not little fucking super soakers or toys. They're actual fucking guns. I'm like, they're actual guns. What the fuck? Disney is gonna fucking show guns, but those dipshits down for kids, or Deke ain't gonna show guns. Did I miss something in these fucking translations? What the fuck? It's like, what the hell? They're showing fucking guns, yet 4Kids doesn't want to show guns. Are they really that scared? Kids are that stupid? Oh, well, if kids see this, they'll want to use those real guns, and they want to use guns and start shooting people. Oh my god. I'm just blown away how stupid the fucking 4Kids thinks people are.
Oh yeah, I know what you mean. I mean, this is a quick off topic with Disney, but you know how the future when they were doing it, that they presented to Disney, and Disney was like, "Well, no, we're not going to produce this. You know, we're not going to distribute it because you got the main character kissing his teenage mom. That's incest." But then fast forward to the early '90s with Blank Check, and you've got a woman in her 20s at the end of the film kissing a boy on the lips. I'm like, no. They'll say that about Back to the Future, but when it comes to a kids movie, white on the lips, a grown woman and a kid, no. I don't get it.
I don't. I just remember back in the 90s with kids' cartoons, they showed guns. Gargoyles had guns. Gargoyles had death. Now I'm talking about fucking gargoyles. Well, we're supposed to be talking other shit, but I'm talking about fucking gargoyles. Why not? Because I used to love that fucking show, but that show had fucking blood. That show had death. I mean, Oh, why the fuck do people? Why do people think that kids are fucking stupid? I just don't understand fucking people and their stupidity.
That's censorship for you. They go way above and beyond to doing that. It's like we gotta protect the kids, you know.
So, I hope everyone enjoyed our tirade on 4Kids.
Yeah. Or at least Ash's tirade. I didn't even get into the 4Kids.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
just think of Yu-Gi-Oh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The manga is far superior to the anime.
I'm not surprised. That anime had a fuckload of problems.
Yeah. I don't even call it Joey Wheeler. I refer to him as his manga name, Jinoki.
Well, in the dub version, he has a Brooklyn accent.
Oh yeah, I did not. That was annoying. It's like, it's based in Tokyo. He's not from New York.
According to 4Kids, Japan doesn't exist.
What?
That's their fucking logic for anything.
Oh my god, that's retarded.
Let me put it to you like this. There's a show called Tokyo Moo. They changed the name to Moo Power.
Oh my god. Do I even want to know what Moo stands for?
I don't know, but I mean, it was funny as hell because the English version's absolute crap. It was take a guess one of the voice actors who's in it. You will be stunned to find out who it is.
I'm drawing a blank.
Sean Schimmel.
Oh no, Sean! How could you?
Yeah.
Please tell me this was his early work.
I don't know, but it was he really, you could just tell, didn't give a shit about the role. He was just like there to get a paycheck, I would assume, because he sounded more like fucking Goku than actually trying to voice act. And I've actually heard him in Blue Gender. He did a different character, and he was actually good in that role. But here he's absolute crap. I was like, oh god, they fucked up his voice so bad. It all fucking happened.
It's hilarious.
Yeah. Now anyways, into my little tirade on 4Kids and their bullshit, and but Mantor, you wanted to bring up The Hobbit?
Oh yeah. Whew. Well, let's see. I do not. I know a little bit about it, but not a lot. Just that Peter Jackson is behind it, which is good because he did an amazing job with Lord of the Rings. And let's see. Ian McKellen is coming back as Gandalf. I don't really get how they're, the whole point of these, putting these other Lord of the Rings characters. And I know that Word's coming back for an itty bitty role as Frodo. I don't know if it's going to be in the first film or second film, but I get that they're probably doing that to appeal to the fans like Lord of the Rings, but as far as I'm aware of, Frodo didn't even. This is according to my interpretation. I don't know if I'm correct on this, but I don't think Frodo even showed up in the Hobbit. It was based. The whole story was Gandalf the Grey goes to the Shire, and he comes across Bilbo Baggins, and he talks him into going on this adventure, and then Bilbo stumbles across the One Ring and Gollum, and it was a pretty. I don't know if he came across the spider from the Return of the King, but the story seems pretty interesting. I mean, the one person that I'm actually looking forward to seeing in the film, I don't know what role he's I think he's playing an elf. And I saw him from the UK version of Being Human, where his name, the actor's name is, I believe it's Aiden. If that's his first name. I'm blanking on his last name. But yeah, he basically had his character kill off in the third season so that he could go to work on The Hobbit. But yeah, I'm looking forward to part one. I don't know what they're going with having it in parters. I mean, is it going to be, would a second film be more or less an in-between of The Hobbit and Fellowship of the Ring, or is it just going to be a two-part continuation of The Hobbit?
It'll be in two parts. So that much I'm aware of. I don't know. I've never read The Hobbit. Have you read it?
No. Actually, I tried to read the Fellowship of the Ring at one point, but with the way how they wrote it to where you started in one spot and then it completely changes into a different segment of the story.
Yeah.
You know.
Tolkien, I know he liked to talk about every single detail, which is, to be honest, at times can get a little, it's like, okay, we know it's great looking. I mean, I've only read halfway through the first Fellowship book. Then I just kind of stopped reading. I was like, I think maybe I should stop reading because it gets, unfortunately, people may not want to hear this, but the Fellowship of the Ring can get kind of boring at times.
Oh, are you talking about the book?
Yeah. Movie's awesome. Movie's fucking...
Oh, yeah, because I loved it when I saw it in the theaters, and it was all about establishing the characters, which I enjoyed. But then, I mean, when I got out of the theater, there was some dude in the lobby bitching about the film. Like, man, it's boring. It's too long. I'm like, looking at it and like, what the hell is this problem? Like, is he high? I loved it. I mean, Stormsink, for God forbid, he hated the film. He actually he did a review on it saying that he wasn't going to go see or that he wasn't going to view Two Towers and Return of the King. I told him like, hey, listen, this is not a single film. All three parts are one big film. If he did it in one film, you couldn't fit it together.
This is like... Well, then again, we're talking about Stormsink. He liked the Vader scream in Return of the Jedi. The no. So I take anything he says with a grain of sand.
Well, I mean, I have not seen Return of the King. No, wait.
Return of the Jedi. Sorry, Return of the Jedi.
Return of the Jedi. I've not seen Return of the Jedi in the new updated Blu-ray version. I mean, I really do not get why George Lucas, updates that shit. I mean. Give us what we're asking for. Like, give us a episode 7 for crying out loud. Do a
Hello?
Lord knows there's enough material there. I mean, I didn't get why. I mean, I understand why he changed a little bit here and there. Like with having Hayden show up, and I don't know if he's still in the new version, but I understood why he put him in there because. Technically, Anakin died, metaphorically speaking, in Revenge of the Sith. So his good side died. So when he became one of the Force, and we're going off topic here, but going back to the Hobbit and Lord of the Rings, I really enjoyed it.
You're breaking up a lot, man.
Am I coming through now?
I can kind of hear you. It's really staticky.
Is it better here?
You're still staticky. I'm not sure what... I can somewhat hear you. It's just kind of... It's really staticky and blurry.
What I was saying, the extended versions are better than the other versions because they go into bigger detail with the characters. Like the interpretation of if Frodo actually kept the ring, it would turn out like Gollum. And I believe the son of one of the kings, that was shown later in Return of the King. He's the father of the character of that was played by Austin. No, not Austin. King Bean. But yeah, it was his younger brother who captured Sam and Frodo, and he was wanting to get the ring, and it was Sam who actually told him, well, this is what happened when your brother tried to do the same thing that you were about to do. And then he looked on at Frodo and had this, I believe it was an interpretation of seeing how Frodo would have turned out if he held on to the ring too long. But in regards to The Hobbit, I hope they just do it as well as they did with Fellowship of the Ring and Two Towers and Return of the King.
Well,
I don't know exactly how they're going to do it.
Well, I think my fear is it's going to become Star Wars syndrome, where you got the original films, which are great, but then you got the prequels, which are crap. That's my biggest fear when it comes to these two Lord of the Rings films, The Hobbit, is that the prequels are gonna be absolute crap. But it's Peter Jackson, and as long as he's not been taking notes from George Lucas or Michael Bay, we should be fine.
Yeah, definitely, because I mean, I'm a little weary, especially with the two-parter, because I'm just having flashbacks of the Twilight saga thing of Breaking Dawn having it in two parts and there being two pointless, and here it's like, why have The Hobbit in two parts? I mean,
well,
they did animated films of The Hobbit, and they did it all. I don't know how that is interpreted from with the books, with the book, because there's only one Hobbit book. I don't know if that's any more accurate, or if it's closer, but the films are normally like what, 2.5 hours, or fit the entire story into one film.
Yeah. Actually, I want to go back to Star Wars for just a quick second.
Okay.
I want to say this right now. Star Wars Episode 4, New Hope, great movie. Star Wars Empire Strikes Back, great movie. Return of the Jedi, fair movie. It's not this great film that... I don't like The Return of the Jedi for a few reasons. I mean, this is when I think Lucas started to kind of go into this weird, just when he started to lose it a bit, was the first problem with that film was Ewoks.
Oh, yeah.
How could these little creatures take down a freaking empire? I am still trying to figure that one out. Especially since there's one scene when an Ewok actually goes onto a fucking speeder bike and somehow knows how to fucking drive it. It's like, how did he learn how to drive that? When these things were freaking out over Leia's helmet.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, the movie, we need some consistency. And the reason I'm bringing this up because in Lord of the Rings: Return of the King, it actually made some sense. Aragorn gets a freaking army of the dead, and I'm like, you know what? I'll take that. That makes a lot more sense than teddy bears. Because I'll tell you right now, if Aragorn had the fucking little Ewoks battling the orcs, those Ewoks would not have lasted very long. They're little, because those orcs would have raped them badly. It would have been a slaughter.
Oh, yes. I mean, speaking of the Return of the King, my all-time favorite moment of that film was I forget her name. I mean, she was the blonde daughter of one of the I think Theodore. I don't know if his name was Theodore or I mean, it was a king where one of his sons or a son I don't know if he had more than one son, but his son died, and she wanted to take part in the war, and she knows how to use the sword, and this is during the whole war scene, and one of the villains who had this big iron Darth Vader, almost like no, more like Boba Fett style helmet, and he's saying, no man, can take me, and she takes off her helmet and says, "I'm no man," and I think she lops his head off. I mean, I still remember the audience in the theater there cheering when she said, "I am no man," and takes him down. That is awesome.
Well, my favorite scene, I have a few scenes I really loved in Return of the King. All three Lord of the Rings films are great movies. They really, really did. Peter Jackson did such an amazing job directing those films. But one of the scenes I loved in the in Return of the King, well, a few, was when the ships are arriving and they're like, I believe those Vikings. I forget who those were. They looked like Vikings. Aragorn just jumps out of the ship with Legolas and Gimli, and they're about to attack. Then an army of the dead just right behind them. It's like, yeah, you guys are royally screwed.
Oh, yeah. Nostalgia Critic even mentioned that in this video in the prior week of the top 11 movie themes. I mean, there are multiple scores and a little section that he liked, and one of them was actually the scene where Aragorn is coming out of the ship. It looks like it's going to be him. And seconds later, the Ghost Army is right behind him. And that was definitely a great moment right there.
And another moment I loved was when they see that giant elephant, and he's like, Aragorn's like, Legolas! Legolas gets up there, takes down all the men on that thing, and then takes down the elephant. And then Gimli goes, still only counts as one! I'm not going to let you take the fucking bullshit right there. God damn it, Legolas beat me.
Oh yeah. Legolas and Gimli, their little competition thing, They're like, that's one, two, three, 3, 4, 5, 6. And it's like, and then he takes down it's the one where he takes down that big elephant. And there are, I think, a few more people in there. I don't know if they died with the elephant, but Gimli looks to Legolas and he goes, still only counts as one.
Yeah. There was also another thing that, if you ever watched the extras, like the behind the scenes of those films, mm-hmm. Peter Jackson, this is the reason why he's a great director and Lucas is a fucking moron now. Lucas just has problems. I'm sorry, people, but I don't like George Lucas right now and all the crap he's pulling because everyone's afraid to challenge George Lucas. Peter Jackson, however, though, he'll listen. He will listen, and there's scenes that he will start that other actors and other producers and production crew have said, maybe we should do it this way, it'll work better, and he listens to them. And it's very noticeable if you've ever watched. For instance, when Gollum and Frodo are fighting over the ring, originally it was going to be Frodo pushing Gollum off. But Elijah Wood said, that won't really pick Frodo in a great light. Maybe we should have them fighting. And so they decided to have them fighting, and it actually works a lot better because it ultimately makes the ring's downfall the one thing that saved it. It's greed. The greed of the ring, and I think that was a brilliant move. There's another scene where I believe where Elijah Wood, when he's played Frodo, he tells Sam to leave. He does a more harsh, nasty tone, and somebody said, maybe we should change that to him just saying, Sam, you need to leave, in a very quiet, non-threatening tone, and it would have been, and he listened.
Yeah. I mean, because I actually saw the takes of it where some were in an angry tone with Frodo, others were semi-confrontational and a little calm, and then the final version, it was very mild and soothing voice. He's trying to be sympathetic and both commanding, and saying, just go home, Sam.
Yeah.
Yeah, like in a sense that it's breaking Frodo's heart that he has to tell him to go because he doesn't want him to go, but he's at a point deciding with Gollum.
Yeah. Which is also one of the film's strengths. Another thing, I mean, And then I don't want to compare Star Wars and Lord of the Rings, but they're so like it's just like I always have to compare the prequel Star Wars films to Lord of the Rings just because they both came out that same time period, and where Lord of the Rings same time period, and where Lord of the Rings where Star Wars has its fucking issues. One of them being Jar Jar fucking Binks. I'm going off topic again, but what the fuck? Let's just go off topic one more time.
Yeah, yeah.
And
I believe Zane said it best. Um, if you want to blame the fall, I mean the uprising of the dark side, Jar Jar, right there. If Jar Jar had not gotten into power, not in power, but then left in charge when Padme had to leave with Anakin,
yeah,
the Palpatine would not have gotten his power, his authority power, so to speak.
yeah. But one of the reasons I brought this up is because Gollum, like Jar Jar, was just a really annoying, irritating character that nobody liked. While Gollum was such an Gollum's considered the best CG character of all time for just the fact that he played that the actor who played him did such an amazing job with that character, and I really love the way how he handled everything in that film.
Oh yeah, Andy Serkis. I mean, he did a great job with Gollum, in my opinion. But if you've seen the behind the scenes footage of that, he had to swallow his dignity right there with that diaper looking suit. Oh my god, it's creepy looking to see him running around and hopping and rolling around in the pond to get a fish. Oh my.
Yeah, he was dedicated to that. I think he'll take that over Jar Jar Binks any day, though. If they said they want him to play Jar Jar Binks, he look at them going, "You're out of your fucking mind." Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I was actually torn between, hating Gollum because I mean, there were points where clearly hate Gollum, but then when it comes to scenes like this is both sympathetic and laugh out loud humorous, where he's having that conversation with himself. There's one interpretation where he's frightened and calm, and another where he's downright evil, and he's going, you don't have any friends. Not listening, not listening. And then he goes, go away and never come back. Like, is there two different characters here, or is he just having a psychological moment, or he's, I mean, you actually, me and myself, in my personal point of view, I wanted Gollum to be redeemed. I mean, I didn't. There's a tiny bit where I'm thinking, like, please let him be, redeemed as a good character and overcome the corruption of the ring. And then when you see the start of the third film, when he was actually a hobbit, yeah, no sympathy, right? All the sympathy that they build up in the Two Towers, that went straight out the window when he saw the opening. He literally killed his friend to get the ring.
He became obsessed with it. It was actually one of the best. That's one thing that I loved about that scene. Now, I'm not sure if that scene was in the books or not, where he goes into his descent towards madness, but it's actually a brilliant scene because it shows what this thing will do to you. So it was one scene I absolutely loved because it was just like, wow, that thing will fuck up your life.
Yeah, in the death of what was it? Was it Christopher? Did he play? Was it Saruman or?
Oh, Christopher Lee.
Yeah, Christopher Lee. Yeah, I forget what the character name was. He was he was Gandalf's friend who was corrupted by Saruman. But I'm blanking on his name. But when it came to his death, I mean, and I looked this up before. Return of the King was actually released in theaters in 2003. That in there, Wormtongue he slits um, his throat, Christopher Lee's character's throat. And I was when I went into the theater there, I was they might have that as a different interpretation in the extended cut because the film was what, PG?
It was PG-13.
Yeah. So even at that, having someone's throat slashed, that would be rather graphic. And I think even Christopher Lee, he was interpretation of it, where I believe they were going to do it a certain way of the backstab, and that I think Peter Jackson said one thing, and then Christopher Lee was like, "Well, actually, when someone is stabbed in the back, this is how their reaction is. It's like a gasp sound, like all the air is being sucked out of your body, like that
Yeah.
inward motion."
Yeah. Did you want to tonight? I was thinking, did you want to skip our favorite viewers and just kind of do that for next week?
Sure.
Since this one's starting to run short, because I did want to bring this topic up just because I forgot I wanted to bring this one up.
Okay.
But Friday, Dark Knight Rises comes out.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm off work on Friday, so I'm definitely going to see that in theaters.
Yeah, I'm probably going to see like a 12. Since I live down next to LA, it's going to be this thing's going to be fucking packed everywhere. So I'm probably going to go see a 12:30, 1 o'clock midnight showing.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to go see that with my friends that night at midnight. But I'm hearing right now, do not take anyone under 15 to see this film. It's that intense.
Are you saying it's darker than the prior two?
I'm hearing from what my brother says. He says apparently it's darker than the other two, or so I'm told. But it's so unexpected. Shit's gonna get crazy in this film.
And I heard that the Man of Steel trailer is delayed in Australia. I don't know if that's going to affect the United States, but I still have not seen the teaser, or the trailer for that, because I actually tried to look for it online, and one of my friends online tried to produce the link to me for YouTube, and when I looked it up, it was taken down. And then there were, Warner Brothers is really secretive. They want to make sure this thing does not get leaked out.
Well, we'll see what happens. I'm sure it'll be on the release of Dark Knight Rises, though, for Friday.
Yeah, I don't know if the Dark Knight Rises is going to air sooner than that, because I am aware that the multiplex theater that is in my town, they're going to be doing the films back to back. They're going to show Batman Begins, The Dark Knight, and then The Dark Knight Rises, one after the other. But I think it's going to be tomorrow night, starting at 6:30. But yeah, because they're like 2 hours long each. So but by the time the Dark Knight Rises airs, it would be midnight, I suppose.
Yeah, it's gonna be late. I know I'm gonna be watching really late that night, but fucking, I'll get out of theater probably 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning. Who knows? But it's gonna be fucking late. But I'll be like, I just saw. I'm not too sure if this is gonna be better than The Secret World of Arrietty. I'm not gonna put that prediction. My favorite film this year was Secret World of Arrietty. Do I think this will surpass it? I don't know. That's gonna be one hard film to surpass. Studio Ghibli films are like some of the best work on the planet, so I'm not too sure if this is going to take number one or not. But I can't wait to see this film. This has been one of my most anticipated films of 2012. And even if you're not a Batman fan, from just a movie standpoint, this is a movie just to see for being a great movie. So you don't even have to be a Batman fan to watch this film. It's like Spider-Man, The Amazing Spider-Man. Yeah. You don't have to be a Spider-Man fan to watch a good movie, and that's what The Amazing Spider-Man is. It's a very good film. So is The Avengers, but The Avengers, I look back at that film, that's a very good film, but it really wasn't as like this masterpiece as some people have claimed The Avengers to be.
Yeah, I'm still new to when it comes to the whole Avengers thing, because I've seen individual films, and I'm looking forward to hearing information on Iron Man 3, Captain America 2, Thor 2, and then of course there's The Avengers 2, which I think it might be coming out, they even set it for 2014? Or
Uh,
2015?
I don't know. I mean, it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting the way Marvel handles this whole franchise.
Yeah. And then there's talk of they're going to try to make another Hulk film. I think they're going to stick with the same actor from the Avengers. Don't know.
Hmm. Well, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how this all goes down. I mean, I'm gonna definitely. Dark Knight Rises was on my must sees. I've seen every film I've wanted to see so far this year. Um, so this is definitely what I'm gonna see. Still royally pissed that the next GI Joe film doesn't come out till next year. I'm really pissed about that one still. But yeah, I can't wait to see it. And anything else on that? And on that?
We should probably bring up the Dark Knight Rises afterthoughts for the next
Yeah,
podcast recording. Probably recorded sometime later this week.
yeah. Anyway, so all right, the big surprise we were talking about. Um, Basically, we're gonna do a bit of a little Q&A for you guys. If you guys have a question, feel free to write it down on the comments below, and we'll answer it for you guys next week.
Yeah, anything that doesn't involve race, religion, politics, and no personal life questions.
No personal either. And if you want to be a guest on the show, you just gotta comment below and let me know. And we'll go on from there. But anyways, anything you want to add on to this, man?
I know that really pretty much covers everything there.
All right then. Well, you've been listening to the Ash and Man of Tomorrow podcast. We will see you guys later. Night.